want a story. It's what makes us humans. Have you ever heard a dog tell a joke? Maybe dolphins can talk, but I've never read a book. It's what humans do. It's part of our anatomy. The DNA structure of having ears and speaking the same language means we want to figure out what does it mean to be alive and what can you tell me to get out of this old age, sickness, and death that can give it some meaning.
So when you speak about this DNA, what is then the benefit of somebody who listens? Because you told me some time ago that somebody who listens, their DNA structure changes. And when I work with clients who were had some traumatic sexual abuse or any very painful stories, being bullied, anything like that in childhood, we work on it. We apply emotional freedom techniques or NLP, anything else, and then I change the story.
Yeah.
So what you are doing, you are not clearing anything before what happened. You are just going and giving them new thing.
Well, if story is a malleable form, and you can, I mean, what I was saying about like a dream stories and stuff.
Yes.
The thing I love about it is that once I start living with it, it starts to morph. It takes on its own life. It replays itself. Characters suddenly become bigger. Things clarify, and you've got to invest energy into it. And then the imagination kicks in and things start to move around, and then it's taking me. I'm not telling it anymore. It's telling me. And your creative visualization or changing around the elements of the story or telling it from different people's perspectives is a very, very powerful way to change that. I can see how that could really move the
We do
stash.
sometimes rewrite the story for somebody who had a painful childhood with absent father or really bad one person in their life. Imagine your ideal childhood. This little girl is growing up in a sweet family. Everybody likes her. So you help her. It's the same mom or the same something that was sweet in her mind or his mind, person's mind. And then we change the other parent. Oh, but he really comes and brings you a warm milk. Do you want chocolate milk or regular? Oh, chocolate. It smells like vanilla. What kind of cup? Pink. Are there any stars on it or hearts? Your name? So they start going into, and 10 minutes earlier they were crying because they still felt I'm not good enough or something is wrong.
So you're giving them the mother that they never had?
Or the father they never had.
Or the experience of that?
Yeah, because it's really important. Physiology and neurology work together.
So when you're telling a story, you're actually moving them through some of that stuff too.
I'm guiding them with questions so they answer the story.
So when I'm telling them a story,
Yes.
I'm using oftentimes, I call it the DNA strand of a story, something that's been honed and sharpened and brought to life by people who are long gone, never know their names, but the psychological resonance of what they've said is moving them through some of those same things. So that through many stories, you know, they get lost in the woods and left by their father, they're abandoned children, they find a way out. In the darkness of the woods, a little bird comes and sits on the shoulder and whispers in their ear the way to go out. There are answers, and the archetypes of those profound old stories. You said Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Well, we look at it as a pablum story because it's told that way. But there are powerful, powerful things moving in all of those things. And when you're telling it to people, especially with children, because they don't filter, you're actually giving. I had a high school class where I was telling them a couple of Greek stories, and the guy said, "This kid, what the heck are you telling us this old stuff for?"
This kid says that.
Yeah, you know, it was Kohala, Big Island. And I said, well, when you're in your third divorce and you're standing on a cliff ready to throw yourself off, then I'm telling you this story now so that maybe you'll have a life preserver, because this story is brighter than you are, and it's brighter than I am, and it's been around longer than any of us put together. And this story is actually a life preserver that you don't need yet. I'm not giving it to you now because you need it. I'm giving it to you because you might have a life experience where you will need it. And you might want to see how the guy gets out of the labyrinth, and it might actually help you get home. This is not pablum. This
We
is
are
not little
implementing This is basically implementation of believe in yourself, believe that we all want to always believe, and they live happily ever after. There was always good, and then everything was fine.
I always think of that ending as, oh, my time's up, or it's time for me to pass the hat and collect my my dinner, or let the dancing girl take it now, or time for bed, kids. Because, of course, when you sit down again, it's, well, now after 3 years of marriage,
exactly. They
and then
decided.
we go on. The next story goes on, right? So, Arabian Nights, I did them for 18 months at Indigo. And they're geniuses with a frame story and then stories. So each character will be in a predicament, and each of them will take you on this long elliptical flight, and then comes back to the... And now the next guy tells his story. Well, when I lost my left eye because... Oh, and how about you? I lost my left eye because... and you forget where you are, and then it brings you right back, and you go, wow, what a trip. And you can see they just take the module, put it in another one.
And then how that really relates to our personal life. That person who would lost eye like this feels like a victim, and life is a burden. And that person who lost in a fight feels like I'm something big. And that person who lost by winking at a woman feels like a playboy.
Those are all great stories.
Wow.
Because we're all playboys. We're all little boys that have been picked on. We're always big heroes as well.
And we always sometimes everything.
We're all those things.
Yeah.
And if we aren't actually, but in our imagination, we might have. And if you tell a story where that's all acted out, then it's psychologically healing.
But everything starts in imagination.
Yeah.
Everything you see started before in somebody's mind. So if you want to have a spooky story or delicious story, start in the mind.
Well, I think stories that are spooky could be delicious.
I also want to ask you about your experiences with everything. And because we are running short on time, let's... Oh, it hurts, I know.
I know.
Can you call 911?
Yeah, could we just extend this show a little longer?
So, let's wrap up with invitation to the Storytelling Festival. So, it's happening this month in October 9th.
October 9, 11, 10, and 11 down at McCoy Pavilion in Ala Moana Beach Park. 3 free nights of storytelling. Starts at 6 o'clock. If you've got ears to hear, grab everyone you love deeply, bring them down, say, hey, if you hear this, you get in free. How about that?
Oh, cool. You are offering free just for those listeners?
Free! Even in economic hard times, if you've got brains enough to get down there, it's free. It's a treasure house.
It's actually really like watch the movie. There will be a spooky movie, there will be true life story movie, and there will be inspirational holy movie.
Yeah.
So let's watch movies, free movies. Bring your own popcorn, enough for everybody else.
Amen.
Good. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here.
I am so delighted that you were here.
I'm
really
so
delicious.
delighted that you're delighted that I'm here.
Oh, I'm so delighted we are both delighted on the Living Delicious shows.
Deliciously living.
And delighted at the same time. Okay, this has been Jeff Gear and Helena Summer Medina. You can contact me if you want. What is your number, Jeff?
Call me at work, 778-3626.
778-3626. Or you can give me a call, 266-0717. Or check it out at www.helenasummer.com. See you next time for another delicious slice of life. You are so...